way, we will need to go into the concept of FSI. In Maharashtra, the FSI is global FSI is 1, which means that if you have a land which is 40,000 square feet, you will get one FSI. That is, for example, 40,000 square feet, you'll get one FSI. That is, you will be able to construct 40,000 square feet. But this, and apart from that, there is something called TDR, that is transferable development right, which was until 2016 0.4 of your plot area. So suppose I have a plot of 40,000 square feet, then I was getting a FSI of 40,000 square feet, plus I was allowed to load zero point 0.4 TDR, that means 0.4 of 40,000 square feet. If we calculate, it will come to 16,000. So what a developer could have developed maximum on that plot of land was 40,000 plus 16,000, that is 56,000, broadly speaking. But what happened? These rules keep on changing, and there was an amendment which was brought in the year 2016, whereby the FSI receiving capacity of the plot was changed based on the road to which it is attached. So suppose your road is 9 meter, so you will have say 0.4. If it is 12 meter, it will be different. If it is uh, 15 meter, it will be different. If it is 30 meter, it will be different. So the same land for which the builder has proposed say 4 buildings using 1.1 FSI and zero point 0.4 TDR now has got a potential to load further TDR and come up with further flats or further buildings. Now the question is whether this should be allowed and whether it is legal. So in my as the law stands and as the various judgments of the High Court is there, law says no, once you have presented a plan to a buyer, you cannot change. Not change in terms of what? You cannot come up with new buildings. You cannot add floors to it. So suppose my builder has given me a plan of 4 buildings with say 20 flats each. And this was prior to 2016 and the law changed. And now he wants to come up with a 5th building. Whether he is allowed or not, under law, he will not be allowed. Now, now the question comes, okay, law has changed, builder is trying to do it. So what is the disadvantage to a flat buyer? Because until unless there is a disadvantage, obviously no one will obstruct a builder from coming up with new build. The problem is that your redevelopment potential, when you go for redevelopment, your potential is decreasing. If that 40,000 square feet of land was to be divided between 4 buildings and say 80 flats, 20 flat is 80 flats. If he comes up with a 5th building or say comes up with a 6th building, then the entire potential will be divided between 100 people or 120 people. So obviously your entitlement to the land is reduced. Our High Court has time and again in various statements have said that once the plan is presented, the builder cannot change it until he takes the consent of the flat buyers. Now, under MOFA, the consent was the requirement of consent was 100% because it said unit purchasers under section 7. But in RERA, section 14 has reduced it to 2/3 of the allottees. So 2/3 of the allottees need to give consent, then the builder can change the plan. So, but as of now, if I'm not wrong, we hardly see any cases in RERA where we are actually going, with a request to RERA that please tell the builder not to revise the plan. So far as working of our local corporations are there. Now after RERA, yes, they have become a bit aware. But before RERA came into picture, they were not at all aware. So revisions were granted on their own. There was nothing. They never asked for consent of unit purchase. But under MOFA also and the RERA also. Now the provision is that once the plan is disclosed, the builder really cannot change the layout, cannot add units, cannot add floors, cannot consume the increased FSI or increased potential to load TDR. Now also there is a very unique notification is there, which was issued in the year 2007, which is not in not in public knowledge. there is a notification which we all know that once the units are constructed and possession is given, the builder is supposed to form an organization. It can be cooperative housing society, it can be say a company, it can be an apartment condominium. Either of these three a builder can form within a time frame. And then after the formation, there is a time frame to convey the land. Now, what happens actually is in the builders generally when they used to plan before RERA came into picture, and now also if you see, they don't plan the entire project at a go. What they do is they plan. They used to plan in a say they will plan for 2 buildings today, and then they will complete it, give the possession, and then they will start rest of the buildings. And in the process, if there is an increase in potential or there is an increase in FSI, or if there is a rule change, they used to take advantage and they used to increase the number of floor of the rest of the building to exploit the maximum potential. Now in 2007 itself it was RERA, and for this purpose what they used to do, so the organization was formed, they never used to convey the land to the organization. The reason was once you convey the land to the organization, then the owner, the name of the owner on the 712 extract or property card will be of the organization. So after that, if they go to the planning authority and apply for a revision of plan, the planning authority will tell, no, we need the signature of the owner who is reflecting on the 712 extract. So please go and get the consent of the society. To avoid this, and once it comes to society, if the developer is required to go to the society, then obviously society will have legal help. They'll get to know, okay, what is being done, how the changes are being implemented, what is that which is being consumed, what are the rights which are being taken away. So to avoid this entire scenario, what developer used to do was that they used to build a building, make an organization, but not convey the land. So in 2007, there was a notification from the housing department which says that if the organization has been formed and time to convey the land to the organization has lapsed, and after that, if there is an increase in FSI or if the builder wants to load the TDR, that should not be allowed. But unfortunately, that notification is never given effect into as far as I have experience of PMC, PCMC. They have not given effect. In fact, one of these corporations says that they have never received such a notification. So these laws are there. These laws are not implemented to safeguard the interest of unit owner, and there is lack of knowledge so far as the importance of land is concerned, or so far as the importance of plan is concerned. What we generally see people coming to us, people asking us, okay, this is the plan, is my flat okay? That is the title clear? Is the plan okay? Shall I buy this flat? But beyond that, hardly people go. Beyond that, people hardly think that suppose builder is showing me in the brochure that these many units are coming up. What if units are increased? What are my rights? My rights are affected or not affected? Now, also the aspect of, you all are aware, the aspect of agreement to sale. We all draft agreement to sale for builder, knowing fully well that out of the 100 terms we write, 80 are not binding on the purchaser under law. All those terms which are contrary to the act is not binding. Not only under MOFA, under RERA, under general law also. Supreme Court has said time and again that when two people are transacting and one person is in a position that he can dominate the other person with respect to terms of the contract. Like in our case, what happened? Builder says, if you want to buy the flat, you have to. This is the agreement to sell. I am going to sign. I'm not going to sign anything other than that. If you want to change the agreement, I am not selling the flat. So the flat buyer has no any recourse. He has to sign on the dotted line. The Supreme Court said in one of the judgment very categorically that if this is the situation and judges are called upon to adjudicate these kind of contracts, they will strike down all the terms which are unreasonable and which are not as per which are against public policy, which are unreasonable against the law. So in these situations, what happens, the general person only reads his agreement and he sees, okay, I have given consent for modification of plan. I have given consent for him to come up with additional building. I have given consent for adding number of floors. I have given consent for amalgamating the land which is adjacent. Now these consent, as it is mentioned in the agreement to sale, are not binding upon the purchaser. Not only agreement to sale. What builders do is also at the time of giving possession, they will get an affidavit on the taking written from the purchaser saying that all these consent, taking these all consent. So there is a judgment of Bombay High Court in the matter of Malad Kokil. Justice Gawai's judgment. And if you read that judgment, Justice Gawai has very clearly said any consent which has been obtained from the purchaser at the time of agreement to sale or at the time of giving possession, these two instances, that consent is not a valid consent under law, because at that court says at these two positions, it is presumed that the purchaser is not in a position to safeguard its right or assert its rights for builder, and builder always has a upper hand at these 2 points. So these consents are not binding. So, and also if you look from the perspective of, we all are advocates, end of the day we want to give relief to our client. Now if you see, we go to ask for interest. Suppose we go and ask for interest and we get a judgment. If we have got a judgment, now what to do of that judgment? If you, we all know how the execution is taking place. So it hardly pinches the builder. They what they do is they keep on delaying it. They will make sure that delay it for months altogether, and only at the last instance that money is paid. So practically the unit purchaser feels frustrated. Now, but if we, when what will happen, what we will do, that builders will be alert, take note of what the purchaser is saying. So these this changes in plan, you will find almost all the projects, 100% of the projects, their builders change the plan. They come up with additional units, they come up with additional floors, they try and utilize the unutilized FSIM. So if we challenge this, then actually the builder is bound to take note of it, and he's bound to come forward for to sit on the table to address the grievances of our unit purchase. So in my experience, last 10-12 years, what I am doing, this is a faster way. Instead of we obviously filing, like I filed a case in RERA where my interest, my client's interest today is 22 crore rupees. But I also know, my client also know, and builder also knows that this decree is a paper decree for me. It is not, if I execute that decree, builder goes bankrupt, he will not complete the project. And otherwise that decree has no meaning. But after this, the moment I wrote to PNC, giving them a notice under section 14 saying that don't revise the plan, the builder came up. Builder said, why you have written this notice? So this is where it actually hurts the business of the builder. And when it is only when it hurts that someone comes up and starts talking and start. I'm not saying that we should involve into endless litigation. All I am saying is we should be able to use these sections, use these law to give faster relief to the this our clients. Now, someone has asked me to share the judgments. I am not aware how to share it here. If anyone can tell me, I'll share the judgments, all the judgments which I am quoting right now. I'll share what I'll do. I'll share with you the entire. There is a series of judgments where the court has said that division of plan is not allowed, or construction in the open space is not allowed. You cannot add buildings. You cannot consume. All these judgment series of the compilation I can share with you, and also I can share the judgment. Yeah.
Sir, just a minute. Sir, there is in the screen there are three dots
Okay.
just below. So if you press that, there is an option of sharing. So you can share the screen.
Share content.
Yeah, that you can do.
Okay, I'll try and share a file. Just give me a minute.
No problem.
So I'll share the judgments, the entire compilation with you all. where it says that how and why the changes should not be allowed, and why this particular way that what is shown should be delivered. The entire concept is that what you are showing to the people, you should deliver that to the people. That being the concept of. I think now you can ask me questions. This is the nutshell. This is
Please share that notification, 2007 notification also you mentioned earlier.
yes, 2007 notification and all the judgments I'll share. So this is the basic concept.
I have one
Hello?
question.
Yes.
Yes.
रीडेवलपमेंट में जाने वाले प्रोजेक्ट भी रेरा के अंदर आएंगे अब?
मैम जहाँ पे आपको सेल करना हो, जहाँ आपको अगर आप कुछ भी सेल नहीं कर रहे हैं, रीडेवलपमेंट में जनरली सेल होगा ना मैडम. अ पार्ट ऑफ इट विल गो टू द ऑलरेडी एग्जिस्टिंग यूनिट परचेजर, बट द फ्री जो पार्ट रहेगा वो बिल्डर सेल करेगा ना. ऑब्वियसली इट विल हैव टू बी रजिस्टर्ड.
Okay, okay.
I have one question. Can I ask?
Yes.
Yes.
If I mention everything in my agreement that I will amalgamate the land and my projection is 6 building. However, my the land portion is somewhere small, and in future I will amalgamate the same. If I everything mentioned in agreement to sell, and the consent is taken by the agreement to sell, then further consent is also required at the time of revise of plan sanction.
This is what you are asking is a gray area for me also, because now there are two parts of it. One part is this, and if you don't have a title to the land, suppose you don't have title to the land, how are you entering into an agreement with respect to that with the unit purchasers? Now the second part of it, if I think from the builder's perspective, it is very simple. I am telling you the entire project. If I am able to build, I will build. If I am not able to build, then I will not build. So this is something which will have to be answered in future. As on today, to my best of my knowledge, I don't have any citation, or I don't have any ruling from High Court settling this law, this particular law.
Wherein the brochure is main aspect in that case.
Brochure, obviously, brochure will have to be relied. See, it depends upon from whose side are you standing before the court. If I'm standing from builder's side, I'll simply say my obligation is to disclose the entire project, which I have disclosed, and I intended to acquire title. I intended to amalgamate. So far as law is concerned, I have complied. But if I have to argue from the unit purchaser's side, my argument to the court will be, if he did not have a title, he did not have any rights in the land. So how does it make a difference if he writes it in the agreement to sale? This question is not settled. That's what I'm saying. To my mind also, it is not settled, and there is no ruling which directly goes in this particular. So far as my knowledge is concerned, there is no ruling which deals with this question.
Okay, thank you.
Sir, there is one more question in the chat box.
Yes.
Just a minute, I'll read it. Yeah, RERA, it is written that RERA authority is not serious in entertaining such type of complaint against change in plans. I have already filed one, and can we make the planning authority as a party in RERA?
Ma'am, I agree to the first part of what you just said. See, now what RERA is doing, I tell you, they are reducing their work at the cost of sounding critical to the RERA authority. They are not doing what they are meant to be done. They are simply giving interest. That is what I said in the beginning. They are giving interest. That is not what they are doing. Suppose there are 20 buildings and they are completed today, and there is another one building which is sanctioned violating MOFA. Suppose when RERA was not there, violating, and builder has registered only one building. So what they are saying, we'll look at only one building. We are not concerned with what happened in the past. But that is incorrect approach. The reason is you cannot set your eyes to what has happened in the past. RERA is not retrospective. RERA is retroactive. So it will consider. I was arguing before someone in Bombay, and he understood. But he says, if I do this, then Pandora box will open, which I agree. If they do this, their work ambit will increase. They don't want to increase their work ambit. Maybe our chairman sir will have to take it up with them. But I find it equally frustrating that they are not doing what actually has to be done. They are only doing, we have to complete the project somehow and we have to give interest. That is what they are, limiting their adjudication to. Actually, they should, consider they should increase the ambit of their inquiry. Revision of plan, they should go into. They should also go into if a project is partly completed before RERA came into picture and subsequently something has happened, they cannot ignore the previous part. But unfortunately, that is yet not happening. Maybe we keep striking at their door. We'll find one of the adjudicating officer taking lead. But as on today, I agree with you. They are not very much keen on going beyond. The comfort zone it has been
Yeah, that is
created.
But my suggestion is that before
Yes.
RERA, such type of complaints were entertained by.
Sorry, such kind of complaints were entertained by. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, before RERA, these complaints were entertained by the civil court, or there was option to file the consumer complaint. Now, I still feel that even after RERA, we should go to the civil court because the members are not capable to have a view like a judge. They are not a judge actually.
But then you cannot go to civil court, but because RERA says any project which is registered under RERA, will all the questions pertaining to same has to go to RERA. Civil court have no jurisdiction.
Yeah, I fully agree with you, but then consumer complaint is also one more option because even after RERA, the consumer complaints are also allowed.
Now, practically speaking, if you want to go on that, then we'll have to take all the cases to National Commission because combined value of the project will always be more than 1 crore rupees.
Yeah, that is the only basic hurdle.
There is one out. There is one. I'll give you one. This thing. There is a judgment of Justice Dhanuka. I'll share that judgment. I don't remember the name of the party. There you remember in 2012 there was another act brought in by the state of Maharashtra, Housing Development Act. 2012 there was another act. You are aware? It is, hello.
Yes, I am aware. Please go ahead.
Which is repealed by RERA, right?
I think that judgment is related to Hiranandani Gardens, Powai, what you are talking about.
I don't remember the name. It's something Friends Colony. Friends Colony something is there. Friends. Yes. I'll share that judgment also with you. Here there what he says that judgment was with regards to MOFA in the 2012 Act, Maharashtra Housing Regulation and Development Act. There Justice Dhanuka took a view that if right to sue has already arisen before the new act came into picture, then we will have a right to go under the old act. So even though our hello.
Yes, please go ahead.
If our agreement to sale is under MOFA and but the changes are done before RERA came into picture, then you can always go into MOFA under to the civil code because you right to sue as a region because you could have filed a case before RERA came into picture. So from there, 3 years they will count and maybe with delay or whatever it is. So if the Justice Dhanuka says that was with respect to conveyance this thing where Justice Dhanuka said it is important to see when the right to file a case, right to sue has arisen. If right to sue has arisen before the new act came into picture, then you can take recourse to the old act. But so far as consumer is concerned, yes, we can go to the National Commission. So far as civil courts are blocking this, that is the problem. Now people are helpless here, kind of, because civil courts are blocking this, and the members, you all must have felt. Maybe I am wrong. Maybe I may have felt differently, but I think the general feeling what I get is members do not want to increase their ambit. They want to be very limited.
To be honest, they are not capable even because such things should be handled by the judge, a proper judge who is having judicial background, at least a district level judge or a
The problem.
senior division civil judge. He should handle such things, and these people they don't understand the legalities, deep legalities into that.
or they don't want to understand specific intentionally?
No, I beg to differ. They understand. What is my this thing? My experience is they understand everything. When a presiding officer says that council, this will open a Pandora box, it means he understands. But they are deliberately. What is my understanding is they are deliberately blocking it. They want to only get the project completed and give the interest. That is where they want to be limited. That is what it is.
Yeah, thank you.
Hello.
Yes,
Hॅलो
yes,
सर, समजा जर रिडेव्हलपमेंटचा प्रोजेक्ट असेल आणि
yes.
त्यामध्ये ओरिजिनल मेंबर बरोबर रेरा प्रमाणे अग्रीमेंट करायचं का नुसतं पोझिशन लेटर द्यायचं?
सर अगर आप डेवलपमेंट उसमें अब आपको स्टैम्प ड्यूटी का ये आएगा. हाउ आई डू इट इज जब हम उनसे राइट्स लेते हैं तो उसमें
हाँ
रिसीट रजिस्टर करते हैं.
हाँ
ऑलरेडी स्टैम्प ड्यूटी पे कर चुके होते हैं पहले.
बराबर
तो पोजीशन रिसीट 100 रुपीज पे ट्रांसफर करते हैं. दैट इज ट्रीटेड एज 100 रुपीज के या 500 रुपीज के स्टैम्प पेपर पे पोजीशन रिसीट रजिस्टर करते हैं. दैट इज ट्रीटेड एज टाइटल डॉक्यूमेंट.
बराबर.
यू विल बी एबल टू सेव अ लॉट ऑफ.
यानी वो पोजीशन रिसीट हमें रजिस्टर ही करनी है.
वो 500 पे रजिस्टर होगी पोजीशन रिसीट. रुपीज 500.
ओके, थैंक यू सर. थैंक यू.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello, sir.
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Yeah, so I have a doubt. In the case, I am in the redevelopment case, I am a existing member of a society. So I am part of the rehab component. Okay. So it is an under construction project, and it is registered with RERA. Okay. But I don't come under the jurisdiction of RERA because I am part of the rehab component, the existing component. So if there is any violation of sanction of plan in that case, so I think I will have to run to the civil court, right? I cannot run to the RERA court.
You will have to run to the civil court with respect to. But under what act will you go to civil court?
Yeah, so that was my doubt. I mean, how should I go?
Ideally, my point of view is that if a project, how can you have two acts applying to the same property? It's the same property, right? It's the same scheme. So how can you subject it to the two jurisdictions? You will have to subject it to the one jurisdiction only. So in my opinion, it should be RERA should entertain. But if not, then yes. If RERA says explicitly you are not under RERA, then go to civil court and this order will become your. Then you will fall under MOFA only because that act is there. It is not repealed, and that covers all the construction in the state of Maharashtra.
Okay. So you are saying first I approach the RERA court, and if they don't grant me the relief, I should show that order to the civil court and then try to get some relief.
Right. See,
But
so
under
far,
which act?
see, my opinion is this. So far as the nature of grievance made is of a allotee, in the nature of allotee, RERA should entertain it. If it's a nature of grievance, it's contractual violation. सपोज कीजिए डेवलपमेंट अग्रीमेंट में कुछ टर्म्स हैं डिपॉजिट के, या फिर कोई तुमको ये परफॉर्म करना है, मुझे ये परफॉर्म काउंटर परफॉर्मेंस है. So far as that is concerned, RERA can pull back its hand, saying that no, it's a contractual this thing. Then we will anyways fall under the normal law. But if the nature of grievance is of that of a allotee, in my opinion, RERA should entertain it. So you should first approach RERA. If RERA says no, with that order you go to civil court.
Thank you, sir.
There is someone has posted. Fatima, madam has posted a grievance as a question. Ma'am, are you there? Fatima, ma'am, is there?
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir, I'm there.
Yeah. And you can complain, obviously, if there is a change in area. What she has written is, initially, the area of the agreement was 450 square feet and balcony is 90 square feet. But when the possession was given, balcony is only 30 square feet, and the balance square feet they have added to the flat usable area, which is 450 plus 60. So in this case, can we complain against the builder? Yes, obviously you can complain, ma'am.
So, sir, can we ask that additional area of the balcony which is there, or how can what complaint and what remedies can we ask from the builder?
Ma'am, now there are two aspects of it. Obviously, the construction is complete. So how will a builder increase that 60 square feet which you are asking? Builder cannot increase the 60 square feet which you are asking. So therefore, obviously, the compensation is the only thing which you will get, whatever it is. What you can save here is obviously the balcony is calculated at I think 40% or 50% of the area, and the actual usable area is 100% calculated, if I'm not wrong. So that, yes, that you can. Is the builder asking you for additional money?
No, sir, he's not asking for an additional money. But when I complained about the balcony area, he's not even entertaining anything about. Either he's very much quiet about the compensation when I asked him. So he's not entertaining my complaint and my grievances at all.
Ma'am, if you see when the flat is sold, the balcony and there are different calculations for different areas. Like the carpet area is calculated at 100%, balcony is calculated at 50%, or different building applies differently. So if your carpet area has increased, so the value of your flat has increased. If you see from one perspective, right?
Yes, sir.
But if you feel, if you really feel, if you have kids and you needed balcony and something like that, you can complain. But ma'am, mental harassment और ये सब का जो compensation Indian courts give, it is worth not fighting for. So, but yes, you can. If it's a technical question, can I file a complaint? Yes, I can file a complaint for compensation or change in flat. You can ask, give me some other flat of the same dimensions. But I doubt how much compensation will you give.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Mr. Vikas has one question.
Yes.
That when the customer avoids to pay demands to promoter as well as fails to repay the bank irregular EMI, what is the remedy available to the promoter?
Ma'am, so far as bank's money is concerned, bank's money has come directly into the promoter's account. It's a public money. So promoter will,
Right.
if the promoter is ready to refund the bank's money, then you should go for cancellation of the agreement to sale. In that case,
Okay.
you should first, in my opinion, you should pay the bank whatever they're due, take a NOC from them, and then after deducting whatever it is, you should be ready to refund it to unit purchaser and then apply for cancellation of unit.
Okay.
So what has happened
Mr.
is,
Vikas, hope you. Yes.
Sorry?
so what has happened is most of the time flat does come to the possession stage, and at the time of possession they don't want to pay the last possession remaining amount. Now again promoter is not in a position to refund all the money to the customers and do cancellation. And sometimes it happens like this, that they do the booking and they pay the booking amount, and later on they don't turn up for paying any demands. So these are the two scenarios that promoters are facing badly.
Ma'am, I'll take your second scenario first. What you should do, you should in your booking form, you should very specific, like in agreement to sale, you mention the procedure to cancel. You should mention in your book the procedure to cancel. What I do for the my builders is I tell them we will send you a pre-demand note, and if you don't, we will make a check of your amount after deducting whatever nominal administrative charges is concerned, and we dispatch it with notice of cancellation to the
Okay, sir.
flat purchasers. To the flat purchasers. That is what is your second scenario, your booking form, or don't call it a booking form, call it an application for preferential allotment of flat.
Yes, sir.
Application
Yes.
for preferential allotment of flat, if you call it that, you are well within your right to refuse it.
Yes,
It's not
sir.
a contract, it's an yeah. So if you do that, just make a DD or a check on the remaining amount, and with the cancellation letter, send it to him. This is the second scenario. The first scenario where agreement to sale has happened. Suppose agreement to sale has happened, then obviously you will have to follow the process. Give them 15 days or 30 days time to rectify the defect. Calling upon them to pay the money. If they are not paying the money, go to RERA. And in RERA, you always see that you tell the unit, allow to cancel, allow me to book it with someone else, and then when so I'll refund the money.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Sir, there is one more question in the chat box. MOFA is not repealed, nor it is extended. So what is the standing of MOFA today?
There is no need of extension. A law is there. Until it is repealed, it is a law. So today we have two laws. As so far as Maharashtra is concerned, we have MOFA and we have RERA. So whatever projects, whatever grievances of the unit purchasers with respect to units which were constructed, sold, were there before RERA came into effect, they will be dealt it with RERA. That is what I was telling. The right to sue, when the right to sue has occurred. If it is prior to RERA coming into picture, then we will go under MOFA. We'll have to go to civil court. If it is post RERA coming into picture and the project is registered with RERA, then we will obviously have to go with RERA. So therefore, these two acts will, act in a different domain. And also, so far as MOFA is not contradictory RERA, MOFA will is there. And if RERA and MOFA are contradicting, then obviously RERA will prevail. If you see formation of organization and transfer of title law in the RERA, it opens up with the wording that in the absence of local laws. So the person who wrote or who made this act RERA, he was aware that in some of the states at least there will be local laws governing transfer of title, formation of organization. Like in our this thing we have MOFA was there, which is a local law for us as to what happens when the title is to be transferred, or the Cooperative Housing Society Act is there, which governs the formation. So these two acts are both standing today, and their sphere of implementation is different depending upon when the project was conceptualized, when you have purchased the flat, when the project was complete, and whether it is coming under RERA or not. Am I clear?
Yes. Yes.
Have I addressed your query?
Just a minute.
Hello.
The question was asked by.
Hello, sir.
Yes,
Hello.
Mr. Nitin. Mr. Nitin Raju, okay. Did you got the answer?
Right. Yes. Yeah, I got my answer exactly. But now just I have one more question. Just I want to know, when the MOFA was already extended from time to time, this time it is not extended. Right. So
where it is
that is
extended?
where I have quoted my question.
No, where it is extended? That is what I'm asking. By what document you are saying it is extended? By which notification?
Yeah. By the notification it was extended previously.
No, where? When?
Previous to this.
No. If I'm not wrong, once the act
Right.
is RERA was MOFA was implemented, it is never repealed. It is never suspended. In fact, the 2012 Act wanted to.
No, there was a provision in MOFA that it is only for 5 years, and every 5 years it is getting extended. Is correct.
Correct. So this time it is not extended. That is where I am quoting this question. If it is not extended, that means whether that is applicable or not.
So far as the actions which have taken place, so let's. I'm sorry, but I'm not aware of it that it has been repealed or it has been nullified. But so far as your question is concerned, I can answer that. If your actions were during the act was in subsistence, then it will be tried under that. Anyways, if there is any sale which happens today or any project which has its concept today, it anyways goes into the into RERA. Anything which is prior to RERA coming into picture is what MOFA will govern. At that point of time, it was perfectly enforceable.
Correct. We all will agree that RERA is not complete. There are certain provisions under MOFA which are more comprehensive and more which are covering major portion of the consumers, which is not in RERA. So if we can even today, whether we can avail that provisions and we can file cases under those.
No, but then you will have to see when the right to sue has arisen. When if RERA eclipses, there is something called doctrine of eclipse. There is something called doctrine of eclipse. A new act comes in and it eclipses the old. So you'll have to see. We'll have to see what are the grievance we are putting forth. If the grievance is not covered by RERA, then maybe we can explore the possibility of addressing it under MOFA coupled with general law.
Then in that case, we'll have to go to civil court, right?
Yes, we'll have to go to civil court. But then we'll have to take. We'll have to establish this first, that these remedies are not covered.
Remedies are not provided under RERA. That is true.
Since MOFA is there, so therefore it is still in existence. Now I will have to educate myself about that 5 year. I'll do that.
That has not been extended. Yes, so that has not been extended. It is where.
Hello.
Hello. Yes.
When was the last time it was extended?
I believe last to last year.
Last to last year means for 5 years, for 1 year.
No, for 1 year. The time expired last to last year.
And after that, it has not been extended.
Yes. So post that, the government has not extended it.
So in that case, then any which ways, you are saying last to last year, it means you are saying 2018, right?
Right.
Any project which has come up after 2018, anyways will go under RERA.
That is true. Correct.
And before
now, just I wanted to know this. Now, what is the scenario of MOFA post 2018? Now, it is not effective, not operative, not available for the new cases, or what it is actually?
If the right to, that is what I am saying. If your right to sue under MOFA will always arise prior to 2017, right? Because post 2017, RERA came into picture. So all the projects will be governed by RERA.
Correct.
Prior to 2017, MOFA was there. So obviously, if my right to sue has arisen at that point of time, I will take the recourse of act which was there. My agreement is under MOFA.
Okay.
If it is prior to 2017, so MOFA will be available to me.
Okay. Post 17, it's
post 18. If it is not extended, let me check, because I am not aware about it. I'll check. Because if it is not available, what is the effect, we'll have to see. Because if it is not extended, the effect.
Okay, fine.
I'll check on that. I'll also educate myself. I'll share with you if I find something.
Right. Sure. Yes.
Hello, sir.
Yes. Hello.
Hi, sir. I have one question. In the cancellation of agreement, many times builder put the condition that the refund will be given after the subsequent sale of that flat.
Okay.
So how much is it valid from your point of view of allotee?
Ma'am, it's a negotiation you are doing. If today's scenario, like say today, everything is shut for last 2 months, the real estate industry is going to take a nosedive. If today builders accept it, today I'll accept it, because today's situation is like it's a private agreement, it's a private negotiation.
Okay. So there is no, legality in that.
No.
You can say that is pure command.
It's a private agreement. What you agree, whether you want money today or you want money after the this thing is sold, it depends upon the situation which is there. You can maybe take a post-dated check to secure yourself.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
So there is one more question in the chat box. That is, sir, what is the remedy available to non-registered project under RERA Act?
Non-registered is the sense they were supposed to be registered and the builder has not registered, you will complain. And if it is simply non-registered, like it is less than 5 units. Can you please clarify the question? It is less than 5 units, the projects which are not sorry, less than 500 square meters. Yeah, you are asking about them, or you are asking about the projects which should have been registered but they are not registered?
Yeah, it is question put by Mr. Bhushan. Will you please ask the question again, Mr. Bhushan? Are you there? She's there, but
Yes, ma'am.
yeah.
Hello. Yes. Project is unregistered before RERA comes. Then what is the remedy available to
Project is registered in the sense
before
it should be registered. It fulfills the criteria for registration, but yet the builder has not registered.
Yeah.
Then you should complain to RERA.
Okay.
Write an email to them. You can complain to them. They will take the matter. They so moto they are taking it up. Then they are issuing letter to the builder. Then they are forcing him, fining him.
Okay. Okay. One more question is that, sir.
Yes.
Project is unregistered before RERA, but builder has given possession to allottees or investor. Then what is remedy available to the? Because RERA has, I think, approximately last year, second last year, has notified that ki unregistered project or in allottees in unregistered project can be complained before RERA authority, but they still not have given possession or not in possession. Then in that case also, in that cases, they have a complaint before RERA, or they are liable to complain before RERA.
See, RERA says very simple. You can go to RERA if the project is registered with RERA. If the project ought to have been registered but it has not been registered, then you will have to first complain saying that this project ought to have registered, but it is not registered. And then you will have to go. Like there was a situation in one of the cases where the registration has lapsed during the hearing. During the hearing, the registration lapsed. So we waited for the builder to get the 1 year extension, and then we started again.
Okay.
Because if the project is not, as they say, if the project is not registered, then the RERA has no jurisdiction. So first get it registered and then file.
Okay. Sir, last question is that what is the power of RERA authority in execution proceeding? Because in a number of cases, RERA has pass order, but there is a multi problem that is the execution of that order is not given, or alert is in question is that how to execute or how to get a final relief after
It is
RERA.
not how they are executing. They have committed. They have made a committee. The orders and the various subsequent orders are being sent. Attachment notices are, attachment warrants are being sent.
Okay.
Choice, your RERA law, our RERA law is yet very nascent. It is yet not settled. So it evolved during the what, in my opinion, they have all the powers. If you ask me, but whether the presiding officer feels it, answer is no.
Okay.
There is some improvement. If I'm not wrong, there is some improvement, and there is a committee formed. And now they are sending the when we submit the list of properties, they are sending it for attachment. attachment warrants are being issued. So that is the executive's work. It will take time. That is what I was saying in answer to one of the when I was explaining that the effective, remedy to the unit purchasers is we are far away from that.
Okay. Okay, sir. Thank you.
So there is one more question, I think by Mr. Vikas only. Is the cancellation date complete? The question is not completed. Mr. Vikas, are you there? Mr. Vikas?
Ma'am, this is Vidya here. Actually, I wanted to
Acha,
ask
your question.
if the payments are mentioned in the cancellation deed to be made in future, is the cancellation deed complete? Because subsequent to cancellation deed, they do apply for getting refund the stamp duty.
Ma'am, if you are taking a post-dated check, then it will be complete because law says even if I am giving you a check, it amounts to making payment. Because if the check bounce, your money lies somewhere else. So far as if the IGR has nothing to do with whether you are taking money today or if as long as the reason for cancellation is in line with their notification or their GR, which says that refund should be out, they will refund you the stamp duty. Now, if builder does not give you money after that, then obviously your remedy is somewhere else.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, sir.
One more question by Rishi. If the builder completed the construction at his own cost and obtained completion certificate, Mr. Rishi, will you ask the question again?
Madam, my question is, if the builder has constructed the whole project at his own cost and obtained the completion certificate, then after that, whether the registration under RERA Act is compulsory for that builder or not?
See, there is a notification of IGR which says that if you are not registered with RERA, if you don't have RERA registration certificate, I will not register your document itself. How will you avoid that? You are aware about the notification?
No, I don't aware of that
You have a
notification.
stop registering agreement to sale if you don't have RERA registration.
Huh?
So you will have to renew your register.
Then it will be conflicted by both the IGR also and or RERA Act also.
No, how it is conflicting? See, you will have to look at the transition period was there. There was a transition period when the act came into picture. That time we were in a transition period from the old act we were going into new act. So there were certain criteria which were there. Now suppose today you take a project and you get the sanction, you complete the entire project, obtain completion. Yet you will have practical problems. Yes, by the law, if you go, it's fine. But if your document is not registered, no bank will give you loan. Bank will say, go and get registered, RERA registration. Then only will give you loan.
Yani I have to register that project under RERA.
You will have to register. You will face a lot of difficulties convincing people why you should not, you should be exempt from registration.
Okay. Thank you.
Because there are no questions. Anyone has any other question?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Then I'll ask, thank you very much, sir, for answering all the queries. I'll ask Sujata Bhave to tender vote of thanks. Sujata, please carry.
Sure. Thank you, ma'am. Good evening, everyone. This is Advocate Sujata Bhave. On behalf of the RERA Study Circle, I would like to thank Lalit sir for making time and conducting this session